Most people over 50 lose their strength, balance, and confidence not because of age, but because of one daily mistake. If you're over 50 and still doing this one thing every single day without thinking twice, then I want you to listen to me very carefully right now. Because I've watched this one habit silently damage hearts, destroy joints, weaken memory, and steal energy from people who thought they were living normally. Most people believe that real danger only comes from smoking, fast food, or extreme stress, but the truth is one ordinary daily behavior after 50 can slowly push your body toward disease without you even noticing. The most dangerous part is that it feels harmless. People do it out of routine. They do it because everyone around them does the same thing. And they do it because nobody ever warned them how damaging it becomes after midlife. Your body after 50 does not respond the same way it did at 25 or 30. Recovery slows down, inflammation stays longer, muscles weaken faster, blood vessels stiffen, and the brain becomes more sensitive to stress and poor circulation. Yet many people continue treating their body like it hasn't changed at all. One of the most overlooked dangers after 50 is forcing your body into long periods of complete inactivity every day. It may not look harmful on the surface. Sitting for long hours, lying down for too long, watching screens, avoiding movement because of comfort, pain, or habit. But inside your body, this triggers a chain reaction. Blood flow slows, muscles shrink, joints dry out, sugar stays longer in the bloodstream, fat settles around vital organs, and the heart is forced to work harder under weaker conditions. I've seen people who never smoked, rarely drank, and ate reasonably well, still develop heart disease, diabetes, and severe joint pain simply because they remained inactive for too many hours each day. After 50, the body needs regular motion to stay alive in a real functional sense, and the danger is not just physical. Long inactive periods weaken memory, slow reaction time, reduce balance, and increase the risk of sudden falls. Many people wake up stiff, spend their morning sitting, their afternoon sitting, their evening sitting, and then wonder why walking becomes difficult within a few years. The body adapts to what you demand of it. If you demand stillness, it learns weakness. And the worst part is, this change happens quietly, month by month, year by year, until one day the damage feels sudden even though it has been building slowly all along. Another reason doctors warn so strongly about this habit after 50 is its effect on your blood circulation and oxygen delivery. When movement drops, oxygen drops. Every cell in your body depends on oxygen to produce energy. When oxygen delivery becomes inefficient, fatigue increases, brain fog becomes common, and even your mood begins to decline. Many people in their 50s and 60s complain of constant tiredness. They think it's just aging. In reality, it's often slow circulation caused by too much stillness. The heart is a pump. If the pipes stay closed, the pump suffers. Over time, this leads to high blood pressure, swelling in the legs, cold hands and feet, and even an increased risk of clot formation. Then there is the impact on your joints. Joints are not nourished by blood the same way muscles are. They rely on movement to absorb nutrients through the joint fluid. When you stop moving regularly, that fluid thickens. Cartilage dries out, pain increases, stiffness becomes your new normal. Many people believe joint pain forces them to sit more, but in reality, sitting more is what makes the pain worse. It becomes a vicious cycle. The less you move, the worse the pain becomes. The worse the pain becomes, the less you want to move. Breaking that cycle after 50 is difficult, but not impossible. And then there is your metabolism. After midlife, your calorie needs slowly decrease, but your hunger signals often stay the same. When movement drops and intake stays high, fat storage increases quickly. That fat does not just sit under the skin. It wraps around the liver, the heart, and the pancreas. This is how insulin resistance forms. This is how type 2 diabetes quietly begins. And once blood sugar becomes unstable, damage spreads to the eyes, kidneys, nerves, and brain. All of this can be triggered not by one dramatic mistake, but by years of daily inactivity that feels comfortable and familiar. Comfort after 50 can become one of the most dangerous addictions. Let me also talk about the effect this habit has on your brain, because this is where many people feel the consequences first. When the body moves, the brain receives more oxygen and more blood flow. That blood carries nutrients that protect memory, focus, and learning ability. When movement stops, that protection weakens. Many people over 50 begin to notice that names become harder to remember, focus becomes shorter, and mental sharpness fades faster than expected. They assume it's genetics or destiny. In reality, it is often circulation and oxygen deprivation caused by long periods of inactivity. Movement is not just exercise. Walking, stretching, standing, changing positions, using your arms, all send signals to the brain that keep neural connections alive. Without these signals, the brain becomes slower. Even emotions become heavier. Anxiety increases. Motivation drops. Sleep quality suffers, and poor sleep further weakens memory and hormone balance. I've watched patients break this cycle simply by changing how often they move throughout the day. Not by running marathons, but by standing more, walking more often, and avoiding long unbroken sitting. And then there is balance. Balance is a skill your nervous system practices every time you move. When movement decreases, balance weakens, reaction time slows. Muscles don't respond fast enough to prevent a fall. This is why many dangerous falls happen not during exercise, but during simple daily activities like turning quickly, stepping off a curb, or getting up from a chair. The body forgets how to protect itself. Independence begins to fade, not because of age itself, but because of the slow disappearance of regular movement. What makes this habit even more dangerous is that it often disguises itself as rest, relaxation, or self-care. People say they're taking it easy, saving their energy, or listening to their body. But there is a fine line between recovery and slow physical shutdown. Real recovery refreshes the body. Prolonged inactivity weakens it. After 50, your body does not ask for more rest nearly as often as it asks for controlled movement. Another hidden danger is how this habit affects your confidence and sense of control. As strength fades and balance weakens, fear grows. People stop trusting their own body. They avoid stairs. They avoid walking far. They avoid social activities. Isolation increases, loneliness deepens, and loneliness itself is now considered a serious health risk, linked to heart disease, depression, and even early death. All of this can begin with one simple daily decision repeated over time, choosing stillness over movement again and again. The good news, and I want you to hear this clearly, is that the body responds remarkably fast once movement is reintroduced safely and consistently. Muscles regain strength. Joints regain lubrication. Blood vessels become more flexible. Brain function sharpens. Sleep improves. Mood lifts. And confidence slowly returns. The body does not demand perfection. It demands consistency. 5 minutes of movement done many times a day is far more powerful than one intense workout, followed by days of stillness. And the moment you replace long hours of sitting with regular gentle motion, you begin to reverse damage that many people believe is permanent. There is also something very important that almost no one talks about after 50, and that is how this habit silently weakens your breathing capacity and lung efficiency. When you stay inactive for long hours, your breathing becomes shallow without you realizing it. Shallow breathing means less oxygen entering the body and less carbon dioxide leaving it. Over time, this shifts your body into a low-energy survival mode. You feel tired without doing much. You feel short of breath walking short distances. You start avoiding stairs, walks, and even simple physical effort because your body feels heavy. This creates another dangerous cycle where less movement leads to weaker breathing and weaker breathing leads to even less movement. Poor oxygen levels also strain the heart and raise blood pressure. Many people think their shortness of breath is just old age, but in many cases it is the result of years of daily stillness training the lungs to work at lower capacity. Another hidden danger is how inactivity affects digestion. The digestive system depends on movement to push food forward properly. When you remain still for long periods, digestion slows down, constipation becomes common, acid reflux increases, appetite becomes unpredictable. Nutrient absorption drops. This leads to weakness, dizziness, and vitamin deficiencies that quietly damage nerves, bones, and immunity. And then there is the immune system. Regular movement helps white blood cells circulate efficiently and fight infections. When movement decreases, immune response slows. This is why many inactive seniors get sick more often and take longer to recover. A simple cold feels heavier. A small infection lasts longer. The body just doesn't bounce back the way it used to. All of these systems, breathing, digestion, immunity, circulation, balance, memory, they are not separate. They are all connected. And one daily habit of stillness quietly weakens all of them at the same time. The tragedy is that most people never realize what caused the decline. They blame age. They blame genetics. They blame fate. But in reality, it was the daily choice of not moving enough that slowly taught the body how to weaken itself.